Guys, welcome back. Hope you all are doing very well. First of all, I would like to thank you guys for 571 subscribers as of the recording of this YouTube video. I really do much appreciate it, and remember that if you do enjoy the content, hit the sub button, help me reach that 1k goal. We are really getting there. It's been slowing down a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. We'll get there eventually. So, like I always ask you guys, well, not always, I've asked you guys this once, but I'm going to ask you guys again. Your cats, your dogs, your uncles, your aunts, your pet fish, your frogs, your crocodiles, your ostriches, please let them subscribe to the channel as well and help me out. The amount of people that are actually sub to the channel, actually watch, has been improving quite a bit, so I do really appreciate you guys actually subbing. It is really cool. Now, real quick, what do I have for you guys today? Well, today I have for you guys a Hildryn Prime, or normal Hildryn, depending on which one you use, build. Now, this is once again a two-former build. I don't like extremely high investment builds. I'm not going to show you guys a build that's going to be 8 former, you know, that type of thing. It is unrealistic, I think, for normal players to have that much former just laying around. Unless you do actually log in every single day and pop on the former for the last, 6 years. So that is why I don't do extremely high investment builds. Now, just real quick, something I want to note on the gameplay and the actual build itself that you guys will see relatively soon is that in this gameplay I'm using Blazing Pillage. I wanted to actually test out how it works in high density population area like Deimos, against the Merman and stuff like that. Of course, solo on Steel Path, because I basically just play solo. And for me, I think Prime Shearfoot is still a better option to run compared to Blazing Pillage, and the reason for that is just overall quality of life, really. You can get a lot of armor strip and shield strip just by using your normal pillage. You don't really need that on your third ability to proc extra heat procs, but if you do want to run it, it is an option as well. I do go over that. And then the last thing I want to note is you will see in this gameplay I have Eclipse on my fourth ability. I have actually moved it since then to my first ability because I don't use Balefire whatsoever, so do not expect a Balefire build. I would specify if it was. I do not go over that skill whatsoever or the weapon itself. I don't think they are actually anything viable in this game right now, so that is why I don't use it. Of course, the subsume ability is completely up to you. If you want to run Eclipse, you can run Eclipse on your first. If you want to run Raw. I just like having the ability to switch between either having a massive damage boost or a massive, basically, evasion buff when I do play my frames, so that is why that is there. So, I'm going to leave you guys with a little bit more gameplay, and I'll see you then in the build segment. So this is the build I'm using on Hildryn Prime. Now the thing is, just a quick side note, of course, I am using Eclipse on her fourth ability. Now I use Eclipse because it's a personal preference of mine. I like the idea that I can have a damage boost or a massive evasion buff whenever I feel like it. You can run Raw here or any other type of subsume that you want. Hildryn is nice like that because she's a very versatile frame. So if you don't want to run it on your fourth ability, I highly recommend running it on your first ability. And if you don't use Balefire at all, I'm not going to cover Balefire because I don't use it. I actually want to move my Eclipse over to my Balefire, but that's just what it is for now. I'll do it maybe a little bit later. So, just a real quick thing here as well. When it comes to the arcanes, this is a personal preference of mine. I run arcane resistance on Hildryn. Why? Because, well, what good does a 5000 HP monster, not HP, shield monster do you when a Xmas unit that has Toxin touches you for one frame and then all of a sudden you are dead because it just completely ignores your shield? So that is why I do use arcane resistance on her. Hopefully in the future they will look at the Toxin status proc and that it just doesn't one-shot you all the time in Steel Path. But that is why I run it on her. This is of course a personal preference. You can swap this out for virtually anything when it comes to Hildryn. She is, like I said, very versatile like that, but Molt Augmented needs to be on here pretty much because it does give you a bunch of extra ability strength. Now, for the build itself, we are running Corrosive Projection. More armor strip is great. Primed Redirection because remember, Hildryn uses her shield as a energy source as well, so the more shields you have, the better. Prime redirection can of course be replaced with normal redirection. It is not that necessary, it's just you want this pretty much in your final build. I use Prime sure-footed. In the gameplay you will see me get knocked around a lot. It is because I was using Blazing Pillage, and yeah, it just didn't work for me really. I didn't really enjoy it that much, but you can run Blazing Pillage instead of Prime sure-footed if you really do want to. Blind Rage, because the efficiency on her is pretty much useless, so we are bumping up the strength by quite a bit. Transient Fortitude, exactly the same reason once again, but the strength is all we need on her. Stretch for a little bit of extra range. It is really nice to have that when you do use your pillage and your haven and stuff like that, to have those extra few meters so you can armor strip and steal shields. Prime Continuity, this is just purely for my Eclipse and of course your pillage as well. It does go out in a radius and then it stays there for a few seconds, so it procs basically on all the enemies and then it pulls back. So that is why we do have Prime Continuity on here. Intensify more ability strength, don't need to explain that, and then of course adaptation for more survivability. And the reason we don't use something like Rolling Guard is because of pillage. If you guys don't know how pillage works, this is also one of the better subsume abilities in the game, by the way, is it will basically cleanse you of all status effects and your allies of all their status effects when you do proc this ability. It is really, really good. It helps you out a ton, but adaptation is just there to actually help with the survivability and not get so much shield drain. So just a quick note as I go on here. Blazing Pillage is a nice thing to run, yes. It is really good when you're trying to do some additional armor stripping and stuff like that, but just remember that it does drain your shields quite quick when you do have this on permanently, because our efficiency is really low. So just keep in mind that when you do run this, you might find yourself spamming your pillage a lot more than you would without. And I just prefer the fact that, you know, she cannot be knocked down. In my opinion, she should not be able to be knocked down. She's a absolute unit. So this is pretty much, you know, it should be in a kit, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's it for the build. So you guys have the means to build yourself a nice Hildryn Prime now, or Hildryn. Really, she is one of the better frames in the game that's not even used a lot. I don't see a lot of people using her, and I honestly don't understand why. I know frames like a Naros, Revenant, you know, those type of frames are very popular, especially Revenant, of course, because he straight up just has invincibility. So that is one thing, but I find it a little bit more boring to play them due to the fact that they just do have invincibility. They're great to use when you're trying to showcase a weapon, because of the fact that you can just pop invincibility and not worry about dying or anything like that, you know. So they are great to use for those type of scenarios, but I think overall Hildryn still has an active gameplay style, because you need to manage your shields, and your shields being your energy. You can't just go willy-nilly running around and you know, spamming your abilities. Well, you can spam your second ability because that will actually regen it. So yeah, but anyways, I wanted actually to give you guys some new Prime gameplay. Yeah, really, of course, being out, the compressor and Daiku. And the problem with that is my internet has been very terrible, like extremely terrible, the last week-ish. So I haven't actually had the time to, or opportunity to log on to Warframe. This is gameplay I actually got last night when my internet wasn't trying to be absolutely trash. So yeah, I do have all the relics for it. I'm not going to buy a Prime Access Pack. I've bought, I think, one Prime Access Pack, and that was just the accessories, and that was way back when Oberon actually came out. So yeah, I don't buy packs in this game. I grind for all my stuff. It's part of the fun, I think, to actually grind for your stuff in this game. But of course, that's my mindset. But yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Really, I do. I hope you all have a great Friday if you're watching this on a Friday, but most people watch these things on the weekend. And I will see you all again in the next video. Have a great one, and peace out.